I'm just letting y'all know, Iran said that we are safe. They're only after one person and one person only. But we are safe. Okay? All right.
Donald Trump has said we are going to war with Iran. He also said some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So this comes after he pulled out of Obama's nuclear deal, Iranian nuclear deal, which did limit how Iran would build their nuclear programs. Trump said it was too weak and it needs to be stronger. So he just pulled out of that deal. And after he pulled out, Iran said, okay, well, we're just going to go back to what we were doing and we're going to start doing our stuff, uranium. And the United States, after pulling out of that deal, tried to do fear mongering and scare tactics and aggression towards Iran, and it didn't work. So now we are going to war with Iran. But here's what's crazy. Iran said that if the United States starts dropping bombs on them, their hackers will tap into our credit card systems and wipe out everyone's debt and give everybody an 800 credit score. I don't think anyone should be hacking a foreign country. That's wrong. But just hear me out on.
So recent online messages from Iranians on social media saying that Black Americans are not their enemy. And trust me, Black Americans have reacted to this in different ways. A lot of them are excited about this news. And a lot of Black Americans too have taken our time to send messages back via social media saying, okay, please, we are begging you, please, we are brothers, we are sisters. Please do not include us in this. These messages have been going back and forth, and the Iranians have been saying, you are not our enemies, Black Americans are not our enemies, and Black Americans are extremely happy about it. At least some are. They are extremely happy about this message, okay? Please, if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section because I always like to know what you all think in the comments, okay? This channel is for you to get global knowledge of what's happening around the globe and expose you to things that a lot of people are not talking about, all right? Please, all right, remain the original creators of these videos, okay? I'm going to let the rest of these videos play out and then we come back and understand and discuss about it furthermore. I understand what a lot of people think and what a lot of people are saying. Let's let the rest of the video play.
You know what really gets to me is that America is sending their sons and daughters out to fight and possibly be killed. Yet Benjamin Netanyahu's son is sunning himself on a beach in Miami and Baron Trump is hiding under a rock somewhere. So neither of these two men that are willing to start World War III are willing to send their own sons. Yet Americans are expected to send their sons and daughters to a war that does not need to happen. They're not defending America. They're helping Israel to create greater Israel. Donald Trump is not making sense anymore. Nothing he says or does makes sense. And he's just distracting away from the files. We should be looking at that. But instead, he's metering down all of these bombs on innocent civilians, on schools, on hospitals. And he's sending their kids, the American kids, out to die. And yet you send them. You send them to die. Make it make sense.
So y'all, it's really getting wicked for real. Like, now it's a high chance, if not already, that it's about to be, boots on the ground over there in Iran. And, NBC had an interview with the foreign minister. That was like, y'all president, he hasn't ruled out boots on the ground over there. Like, are you afraid of an invasion from the U.S.? He was like, afraid of who? He was like, we waiting on them. Matter of fact, what's the ETA? What time do they get here? Y'all, when I tell y'all, it's really starting to get wicked for real, because now, I don't know if you know, but they are saying that, you remember when y'all president told y'all that so far 6 U.S. service members have lost their lives over there? They say that's a lie, okay? They said that the numbers are in the hundreds, okay? More than 500s, okay? Y'all, to make matters even worse, y'all remember that that hit at that school where over 150 young girls lost their lives, they said that hit came from the U.S. Okay, not only do y'all president got the concept of a plan, the foreign minister said we already waiting for them. If you send boots on the ground, that's exactly what's gonna come back to you.
This war with Iran is not America's war. It is Israel's war that America is fighting on behalf of Israel using your tax dollars. You see, Iran is a threat to Israel's existence, and Israel will never stop until Iran is completely neutralized and they have full control over not just Iran, but of the entire region. Mainly because Iran is one of the largest sovereign nations in the region. They have no U.S. military bases, there is no U.S. embassy, and there is no U.S. puppet running the country like there is in the region. And most importantly, Iran supports and funds all of the groups that are fighting Western imperialism in the region. And it is very important to know that the Palestinian resistance would have never made it this far without the support of Iran. And you shouldn't take my word for it. You should listen to Palestinian martyrs like Nazar Banat, and you should watch this video on YouTube. Netanyahu knows that there is a small window to take out Iran right now, which is why they have tried to convince and pressure the US to join them in this attack. Mainly because in the last 2 to 3 years, Israel has killed the top leaders and officials and generals in the Palestinian and Lebanese resistance, and also some of the top leaders and generals in the Iranian military. Today, Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini was killed in an Israeli strike. So what does this mean? It means there is going to be an all-out regional war, which is why so many people have been ringing the alarm trying to prevent this very moment. But here we are. Iran is not going to go down without a fight, and neither are any of the groups they support and fund in the region that fights Western imperialism. Everyone is going to fight like their life depends on it, because this is the moment, okay? And so the US and Israel are not only going to attack Iran, but they're going to open up the prison gates to allow ISIS and Al-Qaeda fighters to take over the region and cause absolute havoc. And the US is going to use this to make the case as to why they not only need your tax dollars to fund this war, it's why they're going to need your children to fight this war. This regional war will take the lives of millions of people in the region, but it will also define the fate of the region for the next 50 to 100 years. And the US is securing Israel's position as the next new world leader. This is the transfer of power. This is the global new world order. And the craziest part is Americans are in denial about all of this, just as they are in denial about the Epstein files, but it is all connected. And right now, it is happening. It is happening in real time, and you have to fight like hell.
Hackers in Iran allegedly threatening to hack into like the top 3 credit score companies and erasing Americans' debt to like stick it to us. Who are they threatening with this? Who is this a threat to? If this is real, and who would we need to speak to speed this process up? Because I don't see how wiping Americans' debt would be a threat. Is this a threat to our government? Would this hurt our government for all of us to have great credit scores all of a sudden? I mean, the things I could do with a good credit score. And honestly, I don't have to do anything at all. Just imagining the possibilities. But I'm just so baffled by them using the term like threatening America to hack into the 3 major credit score companies to wipe Americans' credit clean. As if that wouldn't make everyone's day, if not year, if not decade.
Iran is warning us because Trump attacked them last night. And he ended up unaliving their leaders. So now they coming for us, and they saying that everybody in the U.S. need to stay inside because they about to come for us. Like, damn, can I wake up? I just woke up. This is what I'm waking up to. We about to go to work. Can I graduate first? And hella people in Iran passed away because of the attack. And they coming for Israel too, because the U.S. and Israel went and did it. And now I see Trump supporters complaining about him, but this is who y'all voted for. When we warned y'all, even Kamala warned y'all that if Trump become president, we're going to go into World War III. Literally, that's what's happening right now. Y'all sat up here, Trump 2026, this, that, and the third. But what has he really done for us? He ain't did nothing but fuck shit up. It's been nothing but chaos ever since he became our president. Y'all, we is in tour with Iran right now. We about to go to, not taking this serious enough. Like, I'm scared. I'm scared. And they saying it's supposed to go on for days. Like, it's supposed to be bombing back to back for days. Lord.
I just found out about the Iranian official that was on the news that was asked, hey, are you at all worried that U.S. troops might come down? He looked at the camera and said, bring them. Please, please, God, bring them. So I can show them something. Bring them. He said, we are so confident we're about to put belt to ass on you. Bring them. Bring them is crazy. I don't play with people that don't care about my life or theirs. We don't have to do that. I don't even like oil. I cook with vegetable oil and olive oil. You know what I'm saying? That other shit, I don't need that shit, bro. Relax. We got some. That same news anchor was like, you know, what about a ceasefire? Are you interested in a ceasefire? He said, no. Fuck no. Ceasefire what? Ceasefire for what? He said, when you guys get here and understand this ass whooping, you will cease firing. Negotiate for what? You will cease. The firing will cease. The news anchor looked shocked. He repeated himself. He was like, You're waiting? You're waiting for us? Hell nah! Hell nah! War in 2026 just feels so churlish and insubordinate. Didn't they say Kamala and Hillary would take us to war because they're women? And now we're going to war with people that are on the news like, thank you, finally. I needed this. Bring them, please, God, bring them.
Message is for Iran. Yeah, so the black community don't got nothing to do with this. We don't have nothing to do with this. Please do not harm us. If y'all could just let us know exactly what y'all going to plan out so we can get our families and go. We do not support anything that is going on in America right now, as well as the country, as well as the fucking universe. Like, we really don't. Like, anything that is causing chaos and innocent lives being taken, we are not a part of that shit, okay? So I need for y'all, I know it's an eye for an eye, but I need y'all to take the eyes that cause this drama and cause this pain and cause all this turmoil and are standing behind whatever the fuck they feel is right when it comes to y'all. Yeah, I need y'all to take those eyes. Don't take these eyes. Get those eyes. Get those, the ones that are causing this. Because we, the black community, ain't got shit to do with this. We over here fighting for our lives, too. We over here fighting for our lives, too. Watch TikTok. Go on TikTok and put black people fighting for their lives in America, okay? Yeah, all right. Bye-bye.
Iran, we the citizens of the United States want to come out and say, we ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. A lot of people, when I say a lot of people are taking this for a joke, what is going on, y'all, I don't take it for a joke at one bit. We the people of the United States, Iran, if this video reaches y'all, ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Please don't go messing with our power grids. Y'all can wipe out that credit card debt, because we the people of the United States would love to know what it's like to not have no credit card debt. And all of us need 800 credit scores. Y'all go ahead and do that part. We ain't mad at y'all not one bit. Y'all will affect the people who make the most money anyway. We won't be affected. We appreciate the debt being gone and 800 credit scores so we can buy up some stuff like they able to buy up some stuff. And we gonna take it there, y'all. But Iran, we ain't did nothing. You know, we ain't got no parts. Neither are our military. They just going by command. They being commanded to do certain things. They don't really want to do it. So leave us be. You know, don't mess with the citizens of the United States, because we ain't got nothing to do with that. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. We don't want no parts of it. We ain't for what that man is cooking up. We don't We don't support that man. We ain't even vote for that man. We ain't put him in there. Only some of them, the ones that put him in there. You ain't got to get them no 800 credit score or wipe out their credit card debt. Don't go look it up and see who voted for him and who didn't. Help the ones, they ain't had no parts in it. That's it, that's all. Bye, y'all.
Trump is now saying that he may commit ground troops to Iran, which in my opinion would be one of the worst geopolitical decisions in all of human history. Because not only did Trump promise Americans that he wouldn't send troops abroad, but also, Iran looks like this. Their geography alone makes the country almost impossible to invade because they're completely surrounded by mountains. This is one of the main reasons why Persia had such a powerful empire, because it was almost impossible to send ground troops in to attack their major cities. But now Trump is telling us that he might send young Americans to fight and die in these mountains on behalf of the Epstein class, against Iranian people who are defending their country, their families, their sovereignty. There is a 100% chance that this would be a disaster for the United States. And it hurts my heart that America's leader is really considering sending young Americans to fight and die in the mountains on behalf of the Epstein regime. How many people need to come back in caskets so that the US can debt trap Iran? Or so Israel can take out one of their major enemies in the region? The answer to that question should obviously be zero, but unfortunately we're run by psychopaths and Epsteinites.
On the news of Iranians saying that Black Americans are not their enemy, well, across social media and political conversations, a new discussion has been spreading where some Iranians have been sending messages directly or indirectly to Black Americans saying, "You are not our enemy," especially during the current geopolitical tensions and military conflicts involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. And this message has sparked a wide range of reactions, reflections, and emotional response from many Black Americans who are now discussing what that statement really means. Whether it reflects genuine solidarity between oppressed communities or whether it is simply a political message born out of global conflict. Okay, the context behind this conversation is the growing international tension surrounding Iran, with reports of ongoing military strikes and rising geopolitical pressure in the region, which has forced many Iranians, both inside the country and in the diaspora, to speak publicly about who they see as their real adversaries and who they believe should not be considered enemies, with some Iranian voices emphasizing that their opposition is directed towards government policies and geopolitical conflict rather than ordinary people in other parts of the world. Because of this, a number of messages circulating online have tried to separate political conflicts from human relationships, with some Iran's voices stressing that hostility towards American government policies should not be interpreted as hostility towards American citizens themselves, and that ordinary people, including Black Americans, should not be seen as enemies in a conflict largely shaped by government, military alliances, and international power struggles. Many Black Americans reacting to these messages are responding with extremely long reflections about history, solidarity, and global struggle, explaining that Black Americans have historically been placed in the middle of global political narratives that they did not create, and that throughout history they have often been expected to take positions in conflicts between powerful nations, even though their own community has faced centuries of discrimination, segregation, and inequality within the United States itself. Some reactions from Black Americans emphasize that they understand the difference between government and people, pointing out that ordinary citizens around the world, including Iranians, Africans, and many others, often suffer the consequences of political decisions made by powerful leaders, military alliance, and global economic interests, which means that the ordinary people should not automatically see each other as enemies simply because their governments are in conflict. At the same time, many Black Americans responding to the message, "You are not our enemy," are also expressing a sense of caution, explaining that throughout history, many groups have only reached out to the Black community during moments of political crisis, asking for solidarity or support, even though those same groups may not have consistently supported the struggle of Black Americans when issues such as racism, police brutality, economic inequality, or civil rights were being debated internationally. Other voices within the Black community say that while they appreciate messages that attempt to build bridges between communities, they also believe that solidarity should be built through long-term mutual respect rather than temporary alliance formed during geopolitical crisis. Because real unity between people requires acknowledging each other's history, suffering, and contributions rather than simply declaiming friendships during moments of global tension. Some commentators have also connected these conversations to a long tradition of global political rhetoric, noting that even slogans historically used in Iran against the United States were often interpreted by the Iran's leaders as criticism of American political power rather than hatred towards ordinary Americans themselves, which has added another layer of debate about whether people around the world should interpret such slogans literally as symbolic expression of political opposition. For many Black Americans reacting online, the message from some Iranians has therefore sparked deeper reflection about global alliance, historical struggles, and the complicated relationship between oppressed communities across different parts of the world, with some people welcoming this sentiment as a reminder that ordinary people should not be divided by the conflict of powerful government, while others remain skeptical and insist that true solidarity must be demonstrated through consistent support for justice, equality, and human dignity across all communities. In the end, the conversation has become less about a simple statement like "we are not our enemy" and more about a much larger question that people across the world continue to debate: whether ordinary citizens from different nations can truly see each other as allies in the struggle for dignity and freedom, even while their governments remain locked in conflict shaped by geopolitical, military power, and global influence. So, right now, even as this message are being passed to the Black Americans, and some of them are really happy about this. Some are also asking, is this really coming from a place of concern or a place from understanding, or is it coming because of this whole thing happening right now between the political groups? Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Please, if you're new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment in the comment section. All right, remains the original creators of these videos. Okay, thanks so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next.